Morning, YouTube. How you doing? This is Mike in Detroit. Um, I have a question that I want to answer to everyone, and it's a common question. So before I get started, this is going to be a piano video, and it's aimed at late beginners, early intermediate, and it's also aimed at people who want to play by ear. So the question I got was, Mike, I want to play by ear. I want to play in church, or I just want to play songs, jazz songs or gospel songs. I kind of finished my book one of my Alfred's or Bastion or whatever, and I kind of know a little bit. So I need a list of what I have to practice. What do I have to know so I have a firm foundation under me? And that's an excellent question. So I made a little list, which I'm about to share with you. Now, you might have to listen to this video 100 times because it's a lot easier to make this list and tell you about it, but it's going to take you a long time to get these concepts on lockdown. So just know that going in. So basically, copy this list down and then kind of grade yourself. I know that one maybe 3 out of 10. Ooh, I knew that one 8 out of 10. But if you want a firm foundation for playing by ear, just playing for your own enjoyment or playing at your church, here's some basic foundational things that we all have to know. The first one on my list is the circle of fourths. There's something miraculous about it, and so you should just memorize it. Just memorize it. You can find diagrams of it on the web, but basically it goes in fourths. C, F. So think of it like a clock. So if C is 12 o'clock, F is 1 o'clock, B flat, go up a fourth, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G. Now we're back to 12 o'clock again. C. You want to memorize that. Later on, like if you're playing chord progressions, you'll say, oh, I just went from the 1 to the 4 chord. So spend some time, you can do that away from the piano, spend some time with a diagram or make your own circle and put, rewind tape and C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G. Commit that to memory. Okay, the second thing that's foundational on my list anyway, and they're in no particular order, you have to learn all of these if you want to be a good play-by-ear person. You have to know all 12 major scales. So here's the C major scale. And there's fingering for it. By the way, why did I put circle of fourths first? Because when I'm practicing, everything I practice around the circle. That helps me to memorize the circle, but it also helps me to recognize that's how music works, at least in our world, in the pop, gospel, jazz. Songs tend to move in fourths. Tend to. Not always, but tend to. So I want to practice, I know my circle of fourths, now I want to practice my major scales in fourths. Now I'm going to go to F. To go to B flat. Now I'm going to go to E flat. Now I'm going to go to A flat. Now D flat. Now G flat. Now B. Now E. Now A. Now D. Now G. And now we're back to C again. Now, if you go to some of the classical literature and studies, they want you to play major scales in both hands. In my experience, it's the right hand that's way more important than the left hand. So let's just start there. If you can play major scales in both hands, beautiful, wonderful. But just put it, for now, just put a bass note in your left hand. And then practice your major scales until you know all 12 of them. All 12 of them. Now, there's a couple of things you have to know with majors. Well, about 4 things. So first, you have to get the physical, like in C, it's all white notes. So the physical aspect of playing, how to finger it. Get that thumb under, third finger over. Let's say if I was going up to D flat, right? I'll start with my second finger, thumbs under, thumb under again. So the first thing is the physical aspect of playing it, how to finger it, and just to kind of know the landscape of it, how it's shaped and that kind of thing. So that's the first problem. Second problem is the name of the notes. Okay, so let's take C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. D flat, E flat, F, G flat. When you're playing in flat keys, you're going to call it a flat. When you're playing in sharp keys, you're going to call it a sharp. A flat, B flat, C, D flat. That's the second thing. To know how to call those notes off. I think that's the easiest part because probably back in the beginner stages you can name notes on the piano. The third thing is to now start putting numbers to these scale degrees. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. To get to a point where you say, in the key of C, where's 6? Where's 2? Where's 4? In the key of D flat, where is 3? That is critical. That is critical because later we're going to learn chord progressions and analyze songs and harmonic analysis and that kind of stuff. But it starts with knowing your numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. I don't know another way to do it other than memorize it. To say it and play it enough that if I say it in the key of D, what's the third? Well, 1, 2, 3. Now at first it's going to be hard. It's a lot of keys and a lot of numbers, etc. But stay with this because it's going to pay so many dividends. So if I said play a 2, 5, 1 in the key of C, well, what's 2? I happen to know 2 is a minor chord. Where's 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. 10 billion songs use that chord progression. Happy birthday to you. that starts from knowing where a 2 is. If I said play a 2-5-1 in E flat, okay, well, first I better know what E flat scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Right? What's the 2? I know that the 2 is minor. Okay. 5 to 1. So I know those voicings got a little bit advanced. Don't worry about that right now. The point I'm trying to make here is you can't get there unless you know what a 2 is, or a 5 is, or a 6 is, or a 4, or whatever number it is, in all 12 keys. All 12 keys. So, as I said when I began this little video, it takes me 1 second to tell you, write it down on your list, and it doesn't matter. I don't know that at all. I'm a 0 on that. Okay, write it down and get to 1. Just get to 2. Don't try to learn all 12 keys. Pick a key, take C, and say, where's 2? Usually it's the bass note that you're thinking about. This stuff here you get later, when you get a little bit more intermediate. Where is 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. And play a little game with yourself, almost like a verbal flashcard. If you have a friend that's playing with you, they can drill you. Where's 6? It's 7 notes. Well, kind of up to 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's about as high as you're going to see in a chord sheet. But for now, just get back to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. These extensions you can add later. And plus I have a couple of tricks you can learn. I'll put it in another video. For now, we're talking about foundational core things that everybody who plays by ear has to notice. So we're going to break this little myth that playing by ear is some mythical, magical, just got raw talent. And a lot of people do have a lot of raw talent, but they also study. They learn some things. So far, circle of fourths, major scales. In the major scale, not only the physical shape of it, how to finger it, all 12 keys, what notes are involved, and the number system. The number system, critical. It's sort of like if you took a bunch of papers and opened up a file cabinet and throw them in. Now you got to find a piece of paper, you can't find it. But if you put them in those little manila folders, like that's a 2 chord. Now you can get it because you've organized it in such a way that you didn't it's not just to you, to us, to the musician. It's not just a bunch of sounds. You've got a name on it. You do that, it takes a little longer at first, but when you want to find it, you can go get it. Okay, next thing on the list is major triads. That's a C major triad. Now that you should play in both hands. I don't know who that is. Spam. We'll kill that. Major triads. Now, as I said, if you want to find a major triad, a couple ways to do it. If you know your major scales, that's the 1, that's the 3, and that's the 5. 1, 3, 5, major triad. If you don't know your major scales, you go 4 half steps and 3 half steps. Watch this. Don't count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's it. And then 3. 1, 2, 3. You should know what a half step and a whole step is. So 4 half steps gets you to the second note. 3 half steps gets you to the third note. But if you know your numbers, you just go 1, 2, 3. And C is easy, just every other note. Okay, that's a major triad. Just put a bass note under that, maybe 2, 1. want to practice that around the circle of fourths. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G. Now we're back to C again. Okay, so put that on the list. Major triads. Okay, got that?
Unknown caller.
Wow, somebody's persistent there. I don't know who that is, so I keep climbing. Now, minor triads, same thing. Here's just the reverse. Here's a minor triad. Now we got 3 half steps and 4 half steps. Or 1 flat 3 5. Different sound too. So now let's take that around the circle of fourths. 1, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E minor. All these are minors. A minor, D minor, G minor, back to C minor. Again, just put that on your list of foundational skills and then say, well, okay, I'm pretty good at that. I give myself a 4 or a 5. Doesn't matter. As long as you know where you are, you can assess. And then you're moving that forward. But if it's not on the list, you won't work on that. Now, let me pause here and say, this stuff is boring. I don't want to do this. I'd rather play songs. Okay, well, do your thing. But when you get this foundation under you, the benefit is going to pay later. I know it's a little boring to sit and play scales. Or sit and play chords. Okay? Now, major triads also have inversions. That's a C major triad. So is this. That's first C major. Same notes, see? C, E, and G. C, E, and G, just in a different order. Now, this is called first inversion. Think of it like a horse race, because C is in first place. Here's another one. If it's got 3 notes, it's got 3 inversions. So practice your inversions too. You just have to sit at your piano and play these inversions. Okay, now you know what to do. Now let's do F. Go down. Fine, let's do B flat. So, well, I can't do that. All right, well, give yourself a 2. But make sure it's on your list. Same with minor triads. There's a C minor. Let's invert that. Let's invert it again. So major and minor triads. People say, well, I don't play triads. Yeah, you play triads for the rest of your life. Let's say if I did a G7, I put an A minor triad on top of that. I am going to have sophistication. Take away my bass note, look what I have, a triad. What if I put a C triad on top of that? I end up with a G7 sus 9. You'll play triads forever. Also when you're improvising, a lot of triads. But I digress. The core issue is get that on lock. Get those major minor triads on lock. Okay? And inversions. Okay, from triads to seventh chords, easy smeezy. Here is a C major 7. If I took that B away, look what I have, a triad. See how these foundational skills are building on each other. So, root 3, 5, and then 7. Major 7. And the major 7th is always 1/2 step away from the next root. That's a C major 7. Now the book will tell you there's 4 notes, so there's 4 inversions, right? If you look at my intermediate series, I tend to favor this inversion, root position, and second inversion. That inversion right there. But there are 4. So there's 1, 3, 5, 7. Go up. That's an inversion. I hardly ever play that, but it does exist. I play this one all the time. And then there's this one. I don't tend to play that one too much, although I know it's there. So my suggestion is start off with root position and second inversion. If you're anything like me, those two will gravitate. But be aware there are 4 inversions. That's an inversion. And here's another one. Here's another one. And you say, well, why don't you play this one? Because if that happens to be the melody, I can think of other ways to play. I know other ways to play that, but I won't get into that right now. Let experience help you. In real world playing, this is going to be used a lot. Root position. And this is going to be used a lot. Second inversion. So, if you limit it on time, work those 2. Now let's go to F. Let's go to F. Oops, sorry. Let's go to B flat. And right around the circle you go. So let's just do root position for now. There's a C, here's F. If you know your triads, all you got to do is add this 7th note. Here's B flat. Here's E flat. A flat. D flat. You got to have these on lockdown. On lock. G flat. B. That's an arpeggio. E. A. Oh, why am I playing A flat? Okay, A. D. I lost my place there for a second. G. And back to C again. Take that, also do it in second inversion, and it's a part of your practice. You just gotta sit and do this work. Now let's do minor 7s. Here's a minor, but a minor 7 has a root, flat 3, 5, and a flat 7. So the new note is 2 half steps down from the next root. Got it? I know. Easier to explain, but it takes a lot of time to just sit and play these chords. Here's C. Let's take that around a circle. B, F minor. B flat. E flat. A flat. D flat. Flat, B, E, A. These are all minors. I say A, but it's A minor, D minor, G minor, So we have major, we have minors. Now, if you know your number system, you're going to start adding more chords. Let's say you want to play a minor, C minor 7 flat 5. Same as C minor, except for root 3, 5, flat 7. You take the 5, flat that, you got an A minor 7 flat 5. Now, I won't do it now, but find that voicing and take that around the circle of fourths. How about a C diminished? That is root, flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7. Here's 7, 1 flat, 2 flat, you end up with that diminished chord. Sounds cartoonish. Another way to do it, here's major, here's minor, minor 7 flat 5, diminish. Now let's go to F. Major, minor, minor 7 flat 5, diminish. E flat, A flat, go around the circle and put your foundation in. Once you have circle of fourths, all your major scales, up to, when I say you got it up to 8 or 9, that means you can put a tempo on, about 60, 70, you can play it 8 or 9 times without error. Now you pretty much got it. Your foundation is there. Now you're ready for chord voicings. I won't go into that too much because I have a whole series on chord voicings. Just subscribe. Don't jump ahead, but you'll figure out. Chord voicings, it just says it's the same notes, but I'm going to arrange them some other kind of way. If I had this chord, so if I was going to play a C major 7, so that's the way we learn it. But if I was playing a song, I might play this. I threw a ninth in or second. I took the C out, put it in my left hand. In other words, I'm voicing this chord just like I would be directing a choir. If I was playing a C minor chord, I might play this. Or this. Or this. Or this. Or this. So this is all of what chord voicing is about, and it's a whole study. That's why I made a series of a whole 4 or 5 videos on nothing but chord voicings. Okay, but your number system has to be on lock. So to explain chord voicing, we communicate by numbers. When you see a lead sheet, you'll see G7 flat 9. That's all number system. Once you have a few chord voicings, and by the way, see, that's a voicing. That is a voicing. So is this. So don't poo-poo that. That's a voicing. There is such a thing as voice leading. So remember when I played a C chord and I wanted to play an F chord, I went here. But I didn't have to do that. I could have went here and I could have just went here. Root position C, second inversion F. First inversion B flat. Root position E flat. Second inversion A flat. First inversion D flat. That's voice leading. In other words, I went from C, and I said, well, where's the closest F? That's where I'm going. Where's the closest F? Oh, there's F right there. So let's do this. Or another way to look at it is, what voice can I hold still? You see that voice didn't move? That's a chord progression. That is a 1 to 4 chord progression. The Temptations made a killing off that. You gotta smile so bright. That's a chord progression. 1 to 4. So, what voice is staying the same? That's good voice leading. How many keys can you do that in? Let's try F. 1 to 4. C to B. Where's the 4? B flat. But B flat is in second inversion. Let's go back to C again. What if I was playing this C? Now I got C in first inversion and I want to go to F. Watch this. That's what voice leading is about. What if I was in second inversion? Where would I go to get an F chord? Voice leading. And so you start off small and you learn first the chords, then all the inversions, and now you're ready for voice leading. Now, chord voicings is a whole sophisticated thing. You just build up and build up and build up. But again, I won't be redundant because I made a whole series of videos on that. The last thing on my list are chord progressions. And I'm going to mention just a few of them because when you learn chord progressions, without knowing it, you're learning songs, because the composers of songs, they're not idiots. They know what the listener wants to hear. So let's take Misty as an example. So first of all, what key are we in? E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My scale down, I got my numbers down, and so I said, well, that's a 1 chord. Now I went from a 1 chord, and now I'm going to do what's called a 2-5-1 into the 4 chord. So where is the 4 chord? Well, the 4 chord is A flat. You don't believe me? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 chord is my target. 2 of 4 is B flat. 1, 2. So temporarily, I just changed keys. 5 of 4 is E flat. I landed on A flat. So the most common chord progression in jazz is a 2-5-1. 2-5-1. It's in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs. So don't learn Misty. Learn 2-5-1 chord progressions. Let's go to the key of C. Here's a 2 chord, and here's a 5 chord, and here's a 1 chord. Now, how you voice that? That's up to you. The more you go to war with the tools you got. Here's a 2 chord. 2-5-1. It's another common chord progression is 4-5-1. Let's take 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's play it real simple. 4, 5. Want to voice lead it? Let's go back here. Now this time we're going to voice lead it. 4. Let's go here. We did a bit of voice leading there. The more, to my experience, to my ear, the more folksy it is, the more gospel it is, you're going to hear that 4-5-1. The more jazzier it is, you're going to hear 2-5-1. Okay, that's it. Let's review a little bit. First, I threw a lot of stuff at you in this video. So this is really more of a, not to play it, but to make a list and assess where you are. These are foundational skills for people who want to put put a foundation under them that they build up and they want to play by ear. First, circle of fourths. Just memorize it. All 12 major scales, major triads, and their inversions, all 12 of them, all around the circle. You could play chromatically. Like, let me just tell you that real quick. There's another way to practice it. Here's C. Here's D. This is a C major. Here's D flat. Here's D. Here's E flat. Here's E. Here's F. G flat. G. A flat. A. B flat. B. Go down too. Now when you can do that, you got it. You got it. If you can't do that, make a note. Just keep a notebook or piece of paper in your practice room. This is not playing. This is what woodshedding is. This is what practice is. So your major triads, minor triads, move from there to your seventh chords, your majors, your minors, minor 7 flat 5s, your diminished. Then think of chord voice leading. Find some voices that you like, or go review that video I made on. And I didn't mention, know your number system. You really have to, even me, there's certain keys I don't play in very often, like E. I don't play in E very often. This is just not my kind of music. So even then, I had to think about what's the 5 in E. Oh, I got to think about that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, B is. But in keys I play in all the time, I mean, I just know that. I mean, somebody said play a 1 to 4 in E flat. I don't even have to think about that. So, and then, rather than play songs, it's almost like song fragments, play chord progressions. You'll find that these songs are nothing more, a lot of them are like little Lego blocks. They pick up a chord progression, they stick it together, and they make a song. Anyway, hopefully that helps. That certainly answers my friend's question, and I hope it does yours too. Enjoy your practice. Try to make it as fun as possible. I know it's a little bit boring, but try to make it as pleasurable as possible. But get these 7 or 8 things down cold. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.